just hit the stream button. Quiet on the set. 3, 1, hit me.
Hi, this is Ariel Live TV inside right now in our studio, and I just want to say thank you to our sponsor, no other than Arcticis Global, and the Lotto Baker is here. And also, I want to thank you to my wonderful co-host today, no other than Congressional District 1 Congressman Robert Estrada. And today we have a guest from other states. It's okay, I can be here. Anyway, Robert, let's introduce our guest today, and they are investors also, and they're also former, and is still one person, also still a free agent as a football player. So next to me, I want to introduce no other than a good-looking man, a former San Diego Charger and also New York Jets. I want to welcome no other than Tank Proctor. Where did you get your name?
My mother.
Tank,
Yes,
real
Tank.
real
Tank.
Tank. So why did you decided to leave the football?
Oh, I didn't
Or
decide. It
just
decided for me.
you were
It decided for me. It was time. My body was like, no more.
you're still young.
No, I'm not. No.
So how long did you put in? And
14 years.
14 years.
Between NFL, Canada, Arena, World League. I did it all.
I see. So what's your feeling now? What are you doing now since you retired?
I am my good friend over here, high school buddy, Ego Ferguson, coming on board with him and his partner, the one and only Raider, Raider Nation here, in their investment group. I'm just learning from them right now on some things that they're doing, and hope to come on board with them. They are acquiring companies, investing, and all that good stuff. So I'm sitting in the back seat of these two guys just learning.
Pretty cool. Mr. Congressman, would you like to introduce next to you, or
Oh,
you
Mr. Ambrose, number 20. He used to be number 29 on the Raiders, right?
Yes, sir.
And from 15, 16, and 17?
Yes, sir.
Years 15, 16, and 17. And you're a free agent right now?
Correct.
And last year you played for Washington Redskins, you said?
No, I got drafted to the Redskins.
Oh, okay.
My last team was the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, you played last year?
No, the 18.
18. Okay. You still fluent with it? You still working out?
Been an athlete my whole life.
Right.
I ain't going nowhere. I'm definitely still staying in shape, and definitely look forward to getting back on the field this year.
So you know I'm a Raider fan. You know Las Vegas is my town. Y'all don't know me, but my rap name is the Vegas Don. I'm with Digital Underground. You know, I'm multitask. I'm running for Congress District 1. I'm the first African-American hip-hop artist to run for a congressional candidate seat for the Libertarian Party in America. And I'm just happy to represent brothers like what's up here, entrepreneurs, positive black men to show our youth. I work with the youth. I'm getting ready to start a community center in my neighborhood. I'm from the known projects out here and change my life around, you know, but we're gonna get on you. Can you tell me, you know, I'm a Raider fanatic. What was your favorite time as a Raider? What was your favorite time?
My favorite time as a Raider, I can probably say just the 2016 season as a whole, just being a part of that group. You know, ultimately we fell short. You know, when Derek Carr got hurt that year, we went to
That was that year.
right, right.
Man, that was
Yeah, they were supposed to
oh,
go.
we were supposed to
Right,
win it.
right, right. So, but
That was crazy.
Although, like I said, it didn't end out the way we had wanted it to. I think that was definitely a special group to be a part of, and a special time to be a part of the whole nation of a whole, and for the whole Raider Nation. I mean, 'cause
Right.
I know times before I got there and just being a fan growing up. Raider Nations, they went through some hard times.
Man,
like,
we was losing every year.
right.
Till that year, it was one year we loved y'all.
Right,
we was
right.
like, yes,
Right.
victors, and then he get hurt.
Right. So that was definitely like a exciting moment, you know, in my career, and just to be part of that experience for, you know, such a respected organization to, you know, to get back to those winning moments. I think that was fun for me, and definitely, like I said, a highlight of my career, man. And like I said, it should have went farther, but you know, everything happens for a reason.
Right. And then when was your like the rock bottom, or when did you just know it was going to be done with the Raiders?
Rock bottom, pretty much the following year, and I got hurt. I hurt my foot. You know, for a cornerback with a hurt foot, you know, it's kind of, it's a rocky road, and so I missed 10 games, and that was the first time I actually ever missed games. Period. You know, in my career. So that was definitely tough for me, learning how to deal with that, and you know, trying to, you know, come back and with that same momentum and that same type energy I had, you know, pretty much my whole life, you know, and coming back off an injury, that was a difficult time for me. And then, you know, I don't think my career has been the same, you know, since then, you know, and yeah, so I think that was, pretty much I went from high to low, kind of, yeah.
Quick.
How do you feel now?
Oh, now I'm in a good place. You know, I think the main thing for me was to definitely secure myself off the field, you know, as far as, you know, like you said, the investments and things that I get into, and, you know, kind of like, especially with me not playing last year, kind of like finding myself, okay, if I don't step back on the football field, who am I, and what do I want to do? Like, what are my interests? And like, you know, growing up pretty much your whole life, you know, especially where I come from, sports being like kind of that thing that drives you to get up in the morning, thing that drives you to go work out, thing that drives you to eat right. You know, it's kind of like what drove my life, you know, kind of. Right. And so I think once that was, like I said, last year when I wasn't playing, kind of, you know, finding that, like, what was that motivation, and what things how can I take that same energy that I put towards football, and how can I put that into something else that would be not only financially beneficial, but, you know, just beneficial to me as a being, you know, as like, right. And so it was, you know, I think that, you know, that was a big challenge for me, but not as big as you would think, you know, because I had guys like this around, and that kind of helped me guide myself and get into the right things. And like I said, it wasn't always easy, but, you know, like that's nothing, you know, especially anything that's great, it's not going to be easy. So
if someone sign you up now, what are you going to do? If someone say, hey,
give you a chance.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play. Yeah, like at the end of the day, that's what I've been doing my whole life, is competing. I don't know nothing else. Like I still compete to this day, and other little things, you know. So, I mean, I do plan on, you know, getting back on the field. You know, hopefully I can find the right situation, you know, that's, you know, for me, and somewhere I can fit in for a team, with me being a veteran, you know, and a older guy, and, you know, someone that, you know, that needs, you know, a guy like me to come in. And, you know, if I get that chance, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take advantage of it. You know, that's just how I've been my whole life. So, but I mean, if not, you know, it wasn't meant to be. Well, hopefully, you know, everything works out. But like I said,
right now you're doing giving back to the community, and, you know, looking into help and fund the project, and really aspiring or, you know, striving business owners. Yeah.
Exactly right. So that's the main thing. You know, especially with everything that's going on now, it's opening up new business, giving, like you said, job opportunities. You know, like right now I'm from North Carolina, but I'm based in Florida, South Florida right now. So bringing a lot of opportunities to that area, and like I said, we out here now meeting with, you know, entrepreneurs left and right. You know, trying to, like I said, find things that not only benefit us but benefit the people as well. You know, so if we can, you know, help stem this economy in this type of time, you know.
It's pretty cool, and it's so special also that we have this congressional district 1 running for congressman.
Right.
Maybe we can all help each other for a change.
Exactly. That's the big thing, man. Like you said, linking up with guys like this and women like yourself and just, you know, on the right path. I like being around that type of energy, you know, and I think it's
Let me ask you guys something. Do you think so? I'm just gonna throw this out because it's still trending until now. Do you think so that I know everybody will say yes, it's still there. Do you think so the racist is more stronger than before?
the say it one more time.
Racism.
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 Um,
What do you think?
I know. Well, I know me personally. Just my take on everything. I think it's something that's always been there, no matter, you know, what the time period is. You know, I can just speak from my 28 years of life. But I think now it's brought more front and center than anything, to where, you know, people are really I guess the word maybe moved by it or touched by it, to where they wanna expose it. They wanna, you know, show it. They wanna, you know, whether it's right or wrong, they have an opinion about it, and it's coming more common to, you know, it.
I think it's being filmed. Nothing has changed. That's the only thing that's the difference now. Is being filmed, and we're seeing it as a society.
Hold them accountable for
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
We couldn't
we're
hold them
seeing it as
accountable for it at
a
first.
society, opposed to people getting appalled by it. The first time I think in our lives, you were a young man, really young, probably, I don't know if you were alive then, Rodney King, we saw it filmed then. And from that point, where we're at today, where we're seeing it on a global basis, mainly here in the United States on a daily basis, the police brutality, the justice system that's not just for us. And,
I think to piggyback on, I think if you take like what David said and what you said, it actually is it's layers, and I think not only is it being filmed now and being recorded, and like I think Dave is saying, I think you can add both together. I think we as a nation, we are woke, so the things that we saw in the past, that our parents saw in the past, they were too close from segregation, too close from slavery, so they were, those whips and those abuse were too close, they were tolerated. Now you have generations like us, at least a little, I mean us for the most, but more like Dave and those guys,
they're not
they
tolerated.
really don't care.
Yeah,
They're not going to accept it.
millennials
So
and
that's what
generations.
you see, and then you got to also talk about a lot of that, the mixing of the races. If you look at the news today, it ain't just black folks right now. You have light skin. It's a melting pot. It's like a salad out there, and that's why it baffles me to think that the government think that they can actually contain it. That wake movement is like the virus itself. There's no cure. So it's just basically you have to really. It's just a shift in paradigm. It's going to happen. The shift is happening, and I don't care how long they try to hold it together. It's happening already. The virus is out. People are woke. So I think what you're seeing is, it's weird. It's a combination of both, the virus and people being woke. Neither one has a cure, and they both going to go to the same conclusion.
Yeah, because like my great grandfather was a slave, and they was tearing the statue down, and they were saying that the person that the statue was getting torn down, his great granddad was the slave dude from Mississippi. It was the dude in Mississippi while they changing the flag or whatever, and that's not far away
Not at all.
from us being slavery. But the reason it's a salad pot is because I feel like hip hop has we never had a barrier with color. We accepted everybody. So now that millennials and Generation Z, 28-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 30-year-olds, being raised on hip hop,
Correct.
and they feel like our culture. They feel like blacks, African Americans, we one of them because we dress like them. We got their slang. We banging their songs in our car. And when you see the Black Lives Matter rallies, you see they bumping Public Enemy, Fight the Power, F the Police by NWA, and they know word for word everything. And it's all different kind of colors is doing this. Before it was like jazz, and then it was R&B, and now it's hip hop that's like doing on the forefront of it, and that's what most of the kids, they all into hip hop. So they dealing with it. So when I was growing up, at least, I didn't have a lot of white friends. Did you have a lot of white friends when you was growing up?
Yeah, because I went to a school that was a pretty melting pot. You know, a lot of Cubans, a lot of
Puerto
Edison,
Ricans.
Puerto Ricans.
You had a lot of white.
We went to high
friends?
school
We
together.
went to high school
Oh,
together.
okay.
So, yeah,
When you were growing
So
up.
the classmates are mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not just black. It's
No,
not
no,
just
no,
white,
not at Edison.
Asian,
Not
like
Edison.
that.
It's
See,
Haitian, Bahamian.
Yeah, now it's everything's
Puerto
mixed.
Ricans, Cubans. It was a
Puerto
melting
Ricans,
pot.
yeah, it was a
Edison was
melting
truly a melting pot right there.
See, everything
So
is
there's
mixed
no
now.
races out there. It's just I think this one is out of context.
Hmm?
This is the young generation who actually force because of course I was hurt also. You know, that man, he has his own agenda. But the thing is it's broad, you know, I mean, this is like it's open to the public. So everybody are like involved. You know what I mean? But this one individual, what I'm always telling you, Robert, that this is only one individual hate that man. You know, it's not everybody hate.
No, I don't think
No.
it's. I
No,
don't
not
think it was an
everybody.
individual. I think it's systematic.
It's a
If you look
system.
at-
It's a system.
If you look at policing,
So the prisons right now, the system.
policing was found
It's
on.
been like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
policing was found on racism.
On
Meaning,
racism.
the first police were slave catchers. So that's their basis for everything to come to where we're at now. You look at how they interact with black men or black people in general. It's not. They're not. It's not friendly. And you look at the same cop deal with a white person. They police.
Different.
Shaking
They
their
police
hands.
differently.
What's
They're
up?
shaking hands. If we don't have a mask on, you getting slammed to the ground. Opposed to with them, they're passing out. You know, it's different policing. We both pay taxes, so why aren't policing the same for both of us or all of us, people of color as well as white people?
I know when me growing up in the Bahamas, which is kind of unique, was kind of we didn't grow up under slavery, and when we saw the white folks come to the Bahamas, they brought money, so that was we had a great time. So it was a reciprocal relationship, and it was like everybody had a good time. Until I got to the United States, and you're like, whoa, okay, there is. Even I'm not saying in the Bahamas you had to live, you know, you have your thing, but it's prevalent over here. I think the greed for money to go along with that, you know, it's sad, but I know we are heading in the right direction. So the civil unrest, I know it brings a destruction, but in order to, you can't put old wine in new glass. So I hate to say it, but part of that destruction is a part of process.
It must.
You
You
gotta
have
be.
to
It
clean
has to
out
be.
to start new, and
It
I
has
hate
to
to
be.
say it, but that's part of life.
Let me ask you guys, I agree with that. Do you think so we need to defund the police? Because police right now, they are like, okay, defund me, we're gonna walk up.
When you say defund the police, what people
What does
don't
defund
realize
mean?
is, yeah, what they don't realize is it's like, oh, police are not going to get a salary. Not saying that, but there's so many things that police are getting paid for, opposed to now you have teachers who they have to buy their own supplies.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to do that.
And police buying these, you see those trucks they buy?
Yeah,
Those Army trucks and stuff like
they're
that.
buying
Come on,
army
that's
trucks
so
and
fun.
military grade. This
For
and-
what?
No, for what?
Overtime for
Yeah,
for giving you
BS.
tickets
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
over
so, yeah.
policing
So
That's
black
what they mean.
neighborhoods.
So defund, yes.
That's what you mean by
Defund
defund.
them,
Not
right.
saying we don't need
Yes.
police. We do need police.
You need
but-
police,
But we also need
but they don't
teachers
need
to get
all
a
those
respectable
weapons.
salary.
They don't need all. They got too much time on their
Yeah,
hands.
military
They
trucks.
got too much money and
Yeah.
too much time on their hands.
But we still need those.
Yeah, you know what they need to do?
No,
they
we
need
said-
they need to
Still
get
need
on.
those.
We
need
to-
Maybe what you guys are saying, yes, we need the police, but maybe divide that funding, especially to the education, to the teachers.
Let me ask you a question. You said we need them to protect us, right? When they come, when we make a call to the police, they're not coming to protect us. That's what we're trying to say as black people. When they come, it's not friendly. We might call for a problem that they're going to escalate. The police shouldn't be there to escalate a problem. They should be there to
Diffuse it.
diffuse the problem. They are more thin-skinned than the person you might be arguing with.
issue.
or something.
Exactly.
And we're not saying defund meaning we don't need police. Yes, you need police in this society. We understand that. What we're saying is their budget eats up 60 to 70% of some local. I can bet if you talk about Las Vegas and the Las Vegas Police Department, what is their budget? I bet it eats up 60% of
The state
the
funds
state's
or
funding.
the county.
You think
I'm gonna look
there's
at that.
two-
I'm gonna look
I
at
bet
that.
I'm almost
Watch,
positive
I'm
it
gonna look.
does.
I'm gonna look at that.
That's too much.
And you know what? I can tell you what.
What do you think you guys want to happen?
I want to tell you right now.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Get out the car, and have them walk their ass down the street. Walk the beat. Meet people. They don't need no guns. You should have special guys that need guns when they need guns, but
I
walk
don't
the street.
agree with you with that.
I'm telling you, take guns for everybody. Walk the street. Talk to them.
Yeah, get
Talk to people. So if I like me.
They
In
don't
my
carry
neighborhood,
guns in Great Britain.
in my neighborhood, I know who all smoke weed. I know who steal. I know my neighborhood. I know what time. I know what street. I know my neighborhood because I walk my neighborhood. I know the people.
That was
The police,
before.
they don't. Only time they come to the neighborhood is just to either collect money or create issues.
Can I add to that what he's saying? And I know you're not gonna like what I'm about to say.
Sorry.
What he's saying, when the police come to our neighborhoods, they don't have a relationship.
It's off.
They don't have a relationship, and some of that is they're not familiar with what is going on. Yeah, what's going on. They're not familiar with the neighborhood. They go hire a guy from who knows where and come and work a neighborhood like somewhere like
Idaho.
I don't know the
Montana.
neighborhoods here, but where
I
I'm
don't
from is
like
Liberty
Montana
City.
and Idaho because
But they
No, I'm just saying.
Coming
But when
police,
you get a
North
police
Las
from
Vegas.
that area who's never dealt with black people, let alone being in a black neighborhood, that's the problem. And another thing I'm going to say, like I said, you're not going to like it, is I don't think a white cop should be working in a black exclusive neighborhood. Let's reverse that. If you take a black cop and they only work in white neighborhoods, that would never fly. So you taking a cop from Montana, and you're dumping him in Liberty City. He's never dealt with black people. How is he going to interact? He doesn't.
So how would you like to have only, let's say, the black community and the black police will show up? Is that gonna work?
The Jews do it. They
Yeah.
they police their own communities.
Right.
White people they police their own communities. So why can't we produce?
Then you're dividing the country.
We've been divided.
So
But
you-
hold on.
you-
The only time it
okay.
becomes a problem is when black people say we want to be with ourselves. We're not saying we're racist. All we're saying is let us police ourselves, just like everybody else gets to do. Because when you get a guy comes in, he has no relationship with the neighborhood. The first thing he's going to do is pull out his gun or taser. And that's why you got the problem that you have right now.
And arrest you.
Worst case scenario, let him ride with a black cop, someone who knows the neighborhood.
Then it should be partner, Asian, black, or white.
We're the only ones that police in our neighborhoods. That's a fact.
So
Well,
you're
you know-
trying to say like the Indian community, they have their own police.
They surely do. Every community in the United States have their own police except black people. That's a fact.
Do you think so Asian has a police?
The Asian
Because
community
you're
is not as big as
saying
ours.
everybody has the police except the black. What about the Asian?
I can't speak for Asians. The Asians, they haven't been persecuted and they're not being hung. Black people are being hung today. Look, last week, 2 weeks ago, it was 5 people being found hung.
We are watched and heard around the world, including the Twitter account. We are heard with actually my friend on Twitter are POTUS, AOC, these are all high profile. Why don't you address it to them? I mean, they can hear you.
It's not anything that's not been addressed.
Do you think so we need to impose it?
How do we impose? Until we are economically independent, we can't impose anything.
Yes, and I think
We need
that's
the total overhaul.
Yeah, we need to
system.
empower ourselves. Not saying we want to separate from anybody, but we need to separate and regather, and then, like you saying, then we as black people look at a couple here, a black and white person. I mean, I think his girlfriend, if I'm not speaking
Are
in
you
Spanish.
white?
No, I'm saying Hispanic. We're not saying we love everybody. We've always been welcoming. The problem is it's not reciprocated. We're not getting that love back.
Yeah, we just
So
want to be treated
you're
equal.
We just want to be treated as everybody else.
Okay. You're saying that enough is enough. Correct?
yes, yes.
Enough is enough.
Yes.
We're human beings. We are all human beings. We should be treated equal. what?
Treat me
correct?
like I treat you. That's it.
That's
I don't
it.
want no more,
That's
no
it.
less. Treat me like
That's
I
all
treat
we
you.
ask for.
That's it.
That's it. That's not that hard.
That's easy.
Simple as that.
Well, it's easy.
So that's why we have for a change. We have Robert Estrada,
Yep.
who's a congressman who can probably impose it. Go to the
Washington.
Washington and put it into bill.
That's what I want to do. I want to go to Washington, and I want to sit at the table, and me being diverse, I want to reconstruct politics, and I want to implement laws that pertain to what's really going on, because you guys don't
Meaningful
know,
laws.
most people that are in politics, from senators to congressmen, they're millionaires, and congresswomen, they're millionaires, so they care about the hierarchies. And we need common folks like myself to sit at the table and come back, and we can meet like this in Las Vegas, and I could come back with some steak and potatoes and give it to my community. That's what we need.
Can I piggyback on you, what you're saying right
Yeah.
quick? And this is the last thing I'm going to say. And Basil, you can attest to this. Basil and I went to high school together. And Dee, you and I talked about this the other day. And Edison was probably a perfect example of what society should be. At Edison, we had like 36 different races, nationalities in that school when we went back in 1986. But if you take high school, like we talked about it, if you take high school, you had your jocks, me, Basil, Greggs. You had your politician, the guys that politics. You had your little hot girls, the pretty girls. You had your little cheerleaders. You had your little nerds over there. And you had your little rich kids over there. That was high school. I can tell you right now, when I was in high school, him and Greg ran the high school. They pretty much controlled the high school. When they left, me and the fellas ran the high school. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, but school was cool. Everything was cool. I can recall when I came there, Basil, my English was kind of, people teased at me and all that. He was the man, and Basil, come on, hang with me, boy. He was the leader. Him and Greg was the leader. And they led. He taught me everything I know about being humble, being a leader, being an athlete, being a man. I was watching Basil growing up. I want to be like Basil. Basil had all the girls. He was the man. I want to be like Basil. Now, when Basil left, me and my group, we took over the school. Now, I want to figure out when in the hell did we let the nerds take over? If you look at Congress, you got a whole bunch of white nerds playing war games and playing little stupid shit. When did the nerds take over high school? Let's go back to high school where real people who make real changes. I'm a leader. He's a leader. I have multiple corporations, many different nations. I have whites, I have Haitians. I don't care, as long as we making money, we changing lives and affecting lives. That's what leaders do.
Correct.
Nerds play nerds game. They play war games. Nerds run look at Congress. Nerds. When the hell did nerds take over? That's the problem with society right there. It's not race. It's nerds. They want women, and the only thing they get rid of the nerds. That's the bottom line. Get rid of the nerds, and you got society back again. Let the real fellas run the country again. Like how we used to do back in high school.
What's your comment, sir?
Hey, were you on,
Get rid of the nerds, right?
Did you get on the front line?
No, I'm just
Did
saying.
you
you know, while
protest?
everybody was
Did anybody go on protest here?
chucking balls.
Nah.
We did.
I was
Robert
on
and
like
we
four.
did.
I went to 4 Black Lives Matter protests.
I was gonna take my son one day,
I did a
and
lot of protests.
It's dangerous.
yeah, it was
It is
it was in
It is really dangerous. Me and Robert, we experienced it together. I said, let's do it. But you know why? These are young generation. We don't see our.
it's his time. Yeah, it's their time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how old you are, but it's more so his time and
Young
younger.
generation.
Oh, it is. It's a
They're
generational
not even
fight.
from here in Vegas. I talked to them, some of them from Utah, some of them from San Diego,
Yeah.
some of them from
You
all
need to
over the
experience it.
state. They put
So
that
in
together,
history,
and guess
when you
what?
got your kids,
Young generation are provoking the police on that time. So I told to Robert 3 times that we got pushed in a wall. I got pushed in a wall, so they told me to leave. the girl who's wearing a red, they just leave because this young generation, they cannot control themselves.
I'm used to
Well,
it.
sort of like the police, they can't control themselves.
They cannot, they want to be, you know what they want to do? They want to look ridiculous or in front of all those expensive store.
No, they just young.
They
and
fed
need
up.
some leadership.
They're fed
Yes,
up.
they're
That's
young.
what you're saying. They're fed up.
They're fed up.
Police talking about you have 15 seconds to leave. If not, you're get charged with a misdemeanor. They don't want to hear that.
Exactly.
So,
They want
you know,
answers. They want answers.
They want that. Yeah.
They want change.
That's what I like about the millennials and Generation Z. You guys are aggressive. You're not scared, and you thinkers also. And everything's built for you guys, the future. Because like
Going
you
forward.
said, the old heads that are of the hierarchies are dying off. Their slave ways are getting done, and now we have the new coming in, diverse, love everybody, all different nationalities, all different races, and that's what's gonna make America America again. Not great, make America America again.
Not again for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. American has
It's never been America.
It's never been America,
Not
not,
for
for
us.
us. We've never experienced that. We never, when they say make America great again, and we ask as black people, when has it ever been great?
When was it great?
Do you think so the president is not doing a good job?
Hell no.
Do you think so that the word that he's saying, make America great?
I don't believe in that type of politics. I believe in local politics.
Yeah.
That's what changes is. We need to change
Local
the judges,
politics.
the local commissioners, the local police chiefs that have our interests. He's just a figurehead.
Yep.
People
Puppet.
think what they may about him, but he doesn't affect local politics. That's what, the judges that are sentencing our children,
Yes.
our
That's
boys,
the problem.
unproportionately district attorneys who they have nothing vested in our community, but they're the DA. They're sentencing our kids, same crime. I forgot the statistics on what do we get charged or what do we get sentenced
Twice
more than
as
whites.
much.
Like twice, it's the same charge. So we need to affect local, whatever Trump is doing in office, that's his business. It doesn't affect us
Local government.
locally. And that's what we need to, like you're promoting this gentleman here, we need to promote our local people, and that where change is gonna come in that. Not on a presidential level. And Biden, Trump, it's all the same thing.
Same
If
thing.
we go back and look at Biden's history, he's just as worse as Trump. I'm just being honest.
So you
His
think
rhetoric.
So if Biden will be the president, he's
It doesn't
worse?
make me a difference.
Same
It doesn't
thing.
make a difference.
Same thing.
It doesn't. What we're trying to do is invest, make money. This young man right here, if he ever plays or not, he has a format to own something, to leave his children. That's all we care about. Leaving our children something, property, businesses, that type of stuff.
Economic development.
Yeah, economic. What the president does, it doesn't affect us. Like I said, local. We need people like this in speaking for us in Washington.
I
That's
think
it.
that's a good
That's
idea
it.
if we can
Get up and vote,
really
too. Vote for the
push
people.
that and work with them. I mean, if you can address that and work with them, why not, right? You're retired now, and there's a work
I wouldn't mind. I mean, honestly, I've been to prison. I had my lumps here and there, but I think something you just said about voting. I think as black people, we should withhold our vote. Who has our best interest? Who's going to, regardless of, we get so caught up on Trump and the rhetoric of racism. If he's going to forward our agenda, what we want, we might be talking about reparations, we might be talking about who knows what. For us as a whole, that's same thing. If they're collectively have our best interests, and everybody else does it, LBG community, I can keep going on and on.
Dogs.
Yeah, we have to, as black people, be concerned about that part of it. The other part of it, it's just rhetoric. It's just rhetoric. Trump retweeting something, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, and that's true.
What is your opinion about that young man? Since you are still in a career of free agent right now, and soon you're going to be on the field. So what do you think about that? What you saying?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not like the biggest political guy, and I don't, I kind of stay in my lane. But I mean, I will say, just being honest, being raised in a black community and in a poverty and being around a lot of things I would say us as me as a black man and us as black people. At first, we can talk about police brutality, police killing us, or whatever. But like I think, as black people, we have to take accountability. One, for the way that we kill ourselves. One, the way we kill ourselves, and the way that, like you said, you can look at other races, for example, of the Jews or even the Asian community, or even like a lot of these other races, that they come together, and you know,
That's systematic.
Right, exactly. But and so us as black people, I think we're so, you know, like you said, like it's a lot of things that are a lot of things are based off our culture, especially in the younger community. I know our culture is like the guide for how to be cool, or how to, you know, or the from the music to the clothes to a lot of things. But and I think that just comes naturally from, you know, from the way that we are as black people, from our energy, you know, how creative, like we are amazing people, and I think we take that and we use it against each other, trying to compete against each other, rather than trying to unite and be as one. And I think with everything that's going on, I feel like that's somewhat kind of bringing that together. But I think until we really take accountability, you know, as a race and as black people, in what we do to each other on a daily basis, until we take full accountability for that, I don't feel like the rest of the world, they're going to hear us. But how serious are they really going to take us?
The world is actually listening to you and watching you right now.
Can I piggyback off of what he said?
I want to touch that, please.
No, I want to touch it too.
I want to touch it, please.
85% of white on white killings are done by white people. When they say black on black,
You think so?
it's statistically
Statistics.
proven. Black on black crime is something that is political. And I understand what he's saying. He's absolutely right. Kanye said something a couple of years ago. He was like, slavery was a choice. I believe that. After a certain time, when were we going to say, you know what, either you're going to kill me, I'm not going to work no more fields, I'm not going to do nothing else. You either, but that's neither here or there. But I understand what he's saying, but racism in this system is systematic. And I get what he's saying. He's 28 years old. He hasn't lived as long as I am. I'm 53. So he has a great point, but crime and statistics are where you grow up and where you live at. This is a segregated country, whether you want to believe it or not. Blacks live with blacks, white live with blacks, Asians live with Asians. That's true, that's fact. So if you live amongst somebody, that's who you're gonna pretty much get into arguments with, fights and this, that, and other. That's where crime and statistics come in at. 85%, I think it's 87%, white on white crimes are committed by murders, white people amongst each other. Now it's higher with the black community, supposedly, but you're talking about 90% black on black crime are committed with two black people. Same thing with every race. You go down statistical line, if you go and
Can I please?
Go ahead.
Let me touch that. Two things. Number one is, I like this because David is 28 and I can see where he's coming from. But what we haven't touched on is what Bowser says, a systematic thing. There are psychologists that they sit here and make programs to keep us the way we are. So when we start shooting and killing one another, there are programs and systems that they do this for us. They put lead in our drinks.
Water.
In our water. I mean, so I understand what you're saying.
Redlining.
They redline. Come on.
We can keep on going. Yeah.
It's continue. What I'm saying
It's
is
now.
I'm saying what we do is, and you agree, we attack, we do, but then again, there's a lot of psychology that goes along with that. If you feed a dog every day, that dog's gonna come there every day. That's psychology. If you stop feeding him, that dog won't come. So what I'm saying is, they sit down and they think of these little war games and they do a little psychological shit that makes people react a certain way. Look at the news. If you look at the news, they come out and say, you watch the news in Vegas, and they have talking points. That same talking points, you can hear the same thing
All
in
over the
New
country.
York, California, Haiti. It's the same talking. Hi, today is, and everybody say the same thing. So if you listen to the same thing over and over again, remember that song?
You're gonna believe it.
Kiki, do you love me?
Yeah.
Kiki, do you love me? Kiki, and everybody, Kiki, do you love me? It's like the psychology. If you play this shit over and over again, and over and over again.
Robert, Mr. Congressman.
Well, like, you know, I'm a youth advocator out here, and I do gang intervention, and I'm from gangs, and I always tell my friends, like, the North and the South used to be fighting back in the day, the Civil War, the North and the South. I said, and now I'm in politics. I'm a libertarian. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I think Republicans is red, and Democrats is blue or whatnot. They still doing
Crips
the
and
color
Bloods.
and it's like, and now, you know, I just feel like it's always a system like that, but the youth, they just need to have older cats like us to help them to navigate and understand the tricks and to rise to another level and be better than what we are. But we have to give them guidance per se, not tell them what to do, but just give them guidance on top of what they already know. Because like he said, I've been a part of it. People always ask me now, like, how are you in gangs and then how you running for Congress? I said, because I changed my life, and I gave my life to changing youngsters to not be like me and not be like my homeboys, and to know that you can overcome the barrier of being poor and not having food, having one pair of pants, your mom raising 5 kids by herself, not having a dad. Don't let that stop you from progressing and becoming a congressman or a football player or entrepreneur. Even though you don't have a dad, you still can overcome that. I didn't have a dad. You get what I'm saying?
Well, so
And we
that's
have
why
to
you are
teach
there
them
to
that.
change something.
Yes.
And I'm hoping this young generation like
David.
David, it is my honor for me to meet you and of course Tank. And I'm hoping that we can do a show tomorrow. I know we still have to talk. Dennis is arriving tomorrow. I think tomorrow, right? Arriving. And you still, Art said we can all meet. I think, yeah, it'll be nice. And I mean, this is a very good conversation, and it's heartbreaking because I know how you feel. That, you know, I mean, why us? You know, why
It's
us?
a conversation that needs to be had.
Yep.
I mean, over and over and over and over again. The uncomfortable conversations with gentlemen like this guy sitting out, white people that come to the table, not just, I'm talking about not somebody he's open-minded, has to be, he has a black wife. I'm talking about the staunch racist who, you know, he wants to kill off all, you know, people of any other ethnicity. We need to have these conversations. At the end of the day, we're the same. Little variations and differences, but we're the same, and we live here together, so we're gonna be here.
Since you mentioned Bill, what do you think about that? How do you feel about that with you and Brittany?
Don't look at color. I mean, I look, love is love. Doesn't matter what the color is.
That's what's up.
I heard somebody say that, but you have to see color. No, not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Somebody, I can't articulate it at the moment, but someone said that one time and it made all the sense in the world. He said, I don't see color. You have to. Not saying in a bad way, I'm saying in a good way, because now I can see your plight as well. I see what you're going through. When somebody say I don't see color, that's a red flag for me, because I'm like, not saying that you don't know. I'm just saying you have to, because how can I see you?
Let me interrupt you with that. What I get, Bill, what's his
Oh no,
saying,
definitely.
what he means by that, enough is enough. We should not look at colors. I think I'm getting his point. Like me, if I date a black man, do I look at just a color?
But the thing is about it, that's convenient to say.
Pretend we're dating.
No.
Do I look at just a color?
You wouldn't look at me as a color.
What I'm looking at you then?
That's something you're attracted to. But at the end of the day, there's been a lot of people who've dated
That's
outside
what
of their
Bill is
race.
trying
You
to
know.
say.
Oh no,
Forget
I
about
understand
colors.
what Bill is trying to say, but understand what I'm trying to say, Bill. You have to see. Because guess what? You got to understand where she comes from and her plight of her people.
Correct.
Exactly. It's a different experience than what you walk on this world
Yes,
in.
exactly.
I'm from Canada. there was no racism.
There's no
as far
racism,
as I
so,
can-
so
Mm-hmm.
Slaves went there.
Yes.
When I came from Canada to the United States, like
Then
wow,
you saw it,
was a
yes.
slap, like
Y'all
whoa,
don't- we
Yes.
don't get that.
No.
Y'all
Yes.
get that.
Yeah.
We don't get that.
Yes.
We don't have the convenience to say we don't see
I tell
color.
him that every
You
day.
from Canada?
No, I'm from California. I was born in California.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
But
from
I was
Canada.
just telling him
There was no racism.
that, you know what I'm saying, he was born in a different time, he was born in a different world. So like the world that I come from, I don't know none of that. I don't know none of
Can
that.
I piggyback what you just said? Not that he was born in a different time in a different world. He still lives in a different world than either one of us because of the color of his skin. He has privileges that we'll never have. I don't care how much money we have. And that's just a fact. It's a fact that we live
But
in.
you're a very career woman. I
No,
mean,
no.
man, I'm so sorry. You're a very career man. You.
But there still would be-
you are
there
a
was
former,
still-
San Diego Charger. You know,
All of that don't matter. When
That don't
I
mean
get
nothing.
stopped,
That don't mean nothing.
I get
It's
that.
not about the color.
It is.
You know
It is.
how many billions of
It's a-
When he
people
gets
have?
stopped by the police, or he had a son, or say if he had a white son, he wouldn't have to give him a speech that I'm gonna have to give. I have 6 sons. I have to tell my sons, oh, do this if you get
Put
stopped.
both
Do
hands
this.
on the
Something
wheel.
that when I get stopped by the police and Bill gets stopped by the police, it's 2 different
And
experiences.
being stopped by the cops all the
Yeah.
time, I notice the cops always stop him when they see my black ass in the car. Every time. And I be telling them that. I said, you know what? The minute you saw me, you saw my nappy hair, you saw my black ass skin, you wanted to pull him over because you want to know what he's doing with a nigga. And the cop, they just be looking like, why
And
you
that's
say
true.
that? I said, because it's true.
That's
because
true.
I said, a lot of times, if I probably was white, you probably wouldn't even be stopping me.
He wouldn't
And
stop.
then a lot of times, they come up with excuses why they stopped you. Because they don't want to come out and say, I stopped you because you got a black girl in the car.
Well, I like this discussion. We should have this roundtable discussion, and I'm getting a bit here. I just want to say thank you to our technical director, no other than Maurice Richmond, and of course my partner, no other than Angel. Angel is this is our production studio. The mother owned the building, so this is our also headquarters for the running Congressman Robert Estrada. And come on here, partner. And of course, Bill Becker, thank you so much for giving us a chance to be part of your company. I'm hoping this gentleman here to be part of your company. And of course, the missus. Come here, Angel. Angel is also in a production. And her husband actually is a music director. They own their own, what do you call this?
Record label.
Studio.
Oh,
And of
excellent.
course, our congressman, no other than Robert Estrada, is a hip hop musician. And he owns his own movie, also he produced. And he is actually part of Tupac before, correct?
Digital Underground, yeah. My boy Shaki is coming.
Give us a few minutes. And I just want to say thank you,
have to eat.
thank you to our
You had a question?
chargers.
So you had a question?
Oh, you have a question? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
somebody chimed in the question. Rosella McDonald. She said, "How has politics changed within the game versus today? Players seems to have more choices now."
Answer that. Answer that.
Rosella.
I feel like for athletes, you know, it's different. You know, I will honestly say, you know, from being an athlete, you know, you almost, you know, you're put on this pedestal. He's an athlete, he's an entertainer, and that kind of, you know, that kind of makes you, that makes you accepted in a lot of communities and a lot of, you know, from all shapes of life. But and I've been on the other side, you know, because as a football player, you know, you have a helmet on, you know, so it's not like you walk down the street and you're instantly known as, okay, that's David Amerson, or that's such and such, you know, not like LeBron James, you know, it's not the same type. So I've been on the other side to where I've been stereotyped, for being who I am as a black man as well. But I just I don't know. I feel like I said, like from what people like Colin Kaepernick and people like that, they definitely, you know, changed the dynamics of how an athlete is perceiving LeBron James. You know, guys that are really speaking out, using their platform, you know, to
Kyrie.
yeah, to really bring awareness to these situations. I feel like that that's kind of changing the way that an athlete is viewed. or the way athletes are respected in a different light. If that, I don't know if that answers her question or not. but-
Okay, there's more here, by the way. They said, why don't deserve to live in America?
We don't want to talk about
And then it said, oh, this is the, we have to answer that.
No, we don't. We don't.
Whites never did anything
We
good
love
to
everybody.
help. I said, let's send whites back to Europe, or let's make, say, statue of Obama.
We love everybody.
Then it said,
Black lives matter, and they say all lives matter. Black communities never said
All lives
didn't
don't matter.
Black communities said Black lives matter because we're getting killed, harassed, and it's centuries upon centuries upon centuries that it's true. But Black communities never disliked or never even embraced Mexicans, whites, Asians. We love everybody. So it's about everybody. It isn't about excluding whites out. We want whites in, we want Mexicans, we want Chinese, we want Indians, we want everybody in. But we want to be a family, and all Black communities and Black people want is equality. We don't want nothing from you, just treat it equal. That's it, equal. It isn't
So
hard.
there you go, guys. That's our Congressional District 1 Congressman Robert Estrada. He answered your concern, and also the New York,
David Amerson.
David Amerson. David Amerson.
David Amerson answered you guys' question. Did you get that? So I'm hoping you guys can join us again, and I know you guys are hungry. I know
Yes,
you guys
yes.
Yes, we need
I
to go.
juicy fruit, juicy. Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
I just want to say, vote for your boy Robert Strotter, aka the Vegas Don, Congress District 1. We reconstructing politics, we bring in diversity into politics, and when I go to Washington D.C., my constituents, you gotta know, I'm gonna bring some steak and potatoes home with me so we can eat.
All
That's
right,
it.
next. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for having me up here. This has been my first time ever publicly having a discussion like this in front of a camera. And
Yeah.
so,
And it's live, everybody watching.
right. So, I mean,
Introduce yourself.
Again, I'm David Amerson, NFL player, free agent right now, businessman, entrepreneur, and like I said, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You next.
Hi, I'm Ego Ferguson. I guess an alchemist, entrepreneur, and want to thank Vegas for welcoming us in Vegas, and the new partnership with Arctic Ice. And I guess we're gonna do some new partnership with this gentleman over here, and I guess you will start seeing more of us in Vegas. Let's see.
And we have the cream.
Arctic got cream, and David and I just made an investment and bought a partnership of Welcome to Vegas, and hopefully the Raiders can bring him back home too, the Raider Nation. Let's bring him back.
Yes.
And you're next.
Um,
Wait, I'm so sorry. Please introduce your children.
My children.
Yes, the Ferguson, the player.
Oh, Ego Ferguson, my son, Ego Ferguson Jr. played with the Chicago Bears, just retired last year. And my youngest son, Jeremy, is at Virginia Tech. So football is in the family, is in the blood. And I'm spending a lot of time with my business partner, David Amerson, just mentoring young athletes to start being entrepreneurs at an early age, and stop spending their money out there, just start getting back in the community and giving back, and start meeting new business partners in different parts of the world. But welcome to Vegas. Again, Raider Nation, bring them back home.
Raiders.
Dennis is watching us. Go ahead, sir. Introduce yourself.
Basil Proctor, Tank Proctor. Like you said, he made a great point. Just to have this discussion is meaningful. It means a lot to have the platform, and I hope he takes it from here, honestly.
There you
It's
go,
his
Mr.
time.
President. Mr. President, these are our people. He love our country, but he wants to change. He wants us to embrace each and every one. I think that's easy for you. But anyway, I just want to say thank you to all of you, and also Dennis Matthews is watching. He said it's a great show. Congratulations, Dennis Matthews, one of our technical engineers. And of course, Bill Becker is always there for us, and Mrs. Becker and the little Becker. And the two ladies out there. Thank you so much for you guys here. We're going to be seeing each other again, and I hope you can eat the crawfish. I love crawfish.
Yeah, we ready to go.
I
Thank
you
you.
so much.
All right.
Vegas, baby.